Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Critics, back with another movie review. Straight up, The Odyssey, one of the best movies ever made. I know this is a bold claim, and a lot of people will probably say that no, no, it's not that great, whatever. But in my opinion, it is just phenomenal. Um, I mean, let's start with the casting. Okay? Let's start with the Matt Damon. Amazing acting with Odysseus. I had not really seen him in many movies. I'd seen him in like a few other movies, but like he didn't really stand out as much as he did here, where like his performance was just chef's kiss, amazing. Anne Hathaway almost always just amazing, amazing actress, extremely beautiful. That's just like compounds onto her like acting skill. Um, Robert Pattinson is actually somebody who I did not think would be able to give a amazing performance, but I have to say, like he has done a lot of amazing roles, but I genuinely did not think he would be able to pull like this off. When I saw him in character. Also, one more thing is I never watch trailers for any movies. I never do that. I used to do that as a kid. I don't do that anymore because I like to experience the movie straight up rather than like having like, oh yeah, when is this scene going to come, or like, I don't want to have a like like this is going to happen or that's going to happen. I don't want that at all. I'll just experience the movie straight up. So I didn't watch any trailers or anything, so I didn't really know how well Robert Pattinson would do. He did a really good job on the Odyssey. The only actor that, well, actually, there's an actor and an actress who I didn't feel they did like the best job they could have done. That's Tom Holland. He plays a crucial role in this story, basically as the more or less the side protagonist. Given how frequent his appearances are, he's more or less the side protagonist. I mean, he's Odysseus' son, so first of all, Tom Holland looks nothing like Odysseus at all, or like while he looks young, he definitely looks young. He looks nothing like Odysseus or Anne Hathaway, so it's kind of. I'm not telling them that. I'm not saying that he has to look like that, but I just feel like it was a bit forced, to kind of add him into the picture. Obviously, he did a okay job. I won't say that he's like the worst actor ever or anything. But also, one more thing is, I feel like he's been a little bit typecast with him having to act more or less this like youngster amateur role all the time in the movie. Obviously, I know that in the movie, Odysseus' son is young, but I don't know. Tom Holland just gives him this sort of stupid energy. I'm not saying Tom Holland is stupid, but you have to like you know this. Like if you watch like any of the Spider-Man movies or like just Civil War, there's a certain vibe to him. That really works well with Spider-Man. Doesn't really work well here. You know. Um, Also Zendaya. That's another one I'm gonna talk about. Didn't do anything. I mean, I don't hate that she didn't say anything. I'm just kind of disappointed that she only appeared like a little bit. That's it. She didn't really appear much at all. That's like what the hell, man? Why didn't you just like have her appear more, or say something at all? Uh, but I mean that's up to the direction. I guess that's not really her fault. She did an okay job. Other than that, but the movie could have existed without her being in it, I would say. Um, so that's with the casting. The music. Um, I think Hans Zimmer. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not really good with names. I think Hans Zimmer is the one who did the music production on the Odyssey, and just amazing, great. Especially the one track that really stands out to me is the Troy track, which you guys probably have heard of. Maybe even if you haven't watched the movie, you've probably heard of it. The Infinite BPM track, it's like keeps exhilarating. Just like it's kind of a not kind of. It's very soul trilling. Sort of thing you don't really get to see these days, or hear more likely to be the right word. Um, you don't get to really hear that kind of sound anymore. So that was very innovative. I really like that. Um, and the visuals of it all as well, visually stunning. Obviously, I mean, the director is the goat, so yeah, it was stunning visually. Okay, so more or less, I have not been spoiling things to this point. Now I'll be spoiling things. I mean, you likely know most of the parts of the story as well if you're like a little bit into, not a little bit, like if you're a decent bit into, or if you've ever been a bit of a mythology nerd, then you probably know the story, or like, well, most of it. Obviously, there are some aspects that have been changed, but more or less, it's a good depiction of the source material, in my opinion. Um, the Troy's, the scenes, the entire parts where they show like the destruction of Troy and how it starts, and them being stuffed in the wooden horse. It's very good, like the way they show how much of a struggle it would be for all these like men to be inside this contraption, and like how much like it would hurt and how much like pain they would be in, basically. That's really, that's, I would say that's like just like the peak of this movie, I think, like those scenes there. And then you can also then there's the scene where I forgot her name. What's her name? Whatever, whatever her name was. It turns Odysseus' men into pigs, and like the sequence there, right? That was that felt real. That's what I'm saying. Like it felt like you're watching something that was really happening. And I mean, Christopher Nolan, in my opinion, is the best at doing these things. Even from what I heard on X, apparently even the Cyclops was real. The man knows his stuff, and because the Cyclops looked really good, really, really good, to the point where you actually felt like you were like in front of the Cyclops himself because of how like freaking real and good it looked. Um, in fact, you know what? I will even go as far as to say that your heart might question if what you're seeing is real. And I've never felt that, I've never felt that sort of thing where like even if I watch like extremely realistic horror movies or extremely realistic gore, I'm never like, this is not real and whatever. But that Cyclops in particular, and the other monsters as well, for some reason they felt so real that my heart had questioned, is this real? Is this something that had been, on Earth before? And also the general magic of the movie is also like very mesmerizing. Magic, as I said, I've already mentioned the Cyclops and the turning into pigs thing, but just everything else, like not Zeus, Poseidon's rage in the sea, Apollo sheep, Um, just great. The shades in the shades in Hades, they just everything feels very real. Don't really get to feel that emotion anymore. Like you get to feel that emotion when you're a kid, I think. When you're a kid, you start to question these things. Like, for example, me, like I'll give an example here. Watching Spider-Man 3 as a kid, I really wondered if Venom was a real thing because obviously we know what um, when you know a little bit, very little bit of science, you start to like mix it with these things, and you're like, what if that's real? So as a kid, I kind of questioned if Venom was a real thing. Who the hell is texting me right now? I don't know, but yeah. So it's magical. That's the best way of saying it. It's magic in a time when you don't get to experience magic, and very obviously this movie. I mean, even if you hadn't been listening for all this time, it's obviously a 10 out of 10. There's nothing really to say. I mean, I don't know who the fuck is calling me right now. Yeah, sorry about that. Where was that? Yeah. I mean, it's very obvious that I'm gonna give this movie a 10. I mean, I've been blabbering on about it for like what 12 minutes at this point. Yeah, it deserves a 10. I mean, it's you know what? I'll even give it like an 11. This movie. Also, I will also have to say that I want to mention this. I won't name who. Obviously, I can't name who. But I had a friend sitting next to me in the movie theaters who was like, obviously, I am also a mythology nerd, but I'm not as big of a mythology nerd as her, and she explained like the plots of the movie so well. Not the plots of the movie, like everything that was happening in the movie as well, a little bit to me. Like, and she did such a good job of it at like the experience of the movie got elevated even more. So, if in my opinion, if you are a mythology nerd, you will really like this. If you are not a mythology nerd, then take a mythology nerd with you. One of your friends, family. I don't know what else you would take with them. Yeah, those are two options, I guess. Friends or family. Can't really take your enemies there, I guess. Yeah. So also thanks to my friend. She's wonderful. That's about it. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna blabber on much about this anymore. This is like my third video today. I'm trying to compensate for all the time I wasn't here. See you guys in the next one, which is probably gonna be tomorrow. Bye.